Welcome to the Functional Esthetician. I'm your host, Samantha Dunch. Today's special guest is Brenda Mundt. She is a breath and transformation coach. Today we're talking about nervous system regulation and breath work. I'm really excited to share today's interview with you because we all know that when we are stressed, we need to do things to calm us down. But many of us don't even know what that looks like. Today's episode will give you tips and tools so you can learn how to easily add breathing into your busy routine. Let me introduce Brenda. Brenda Mundt is a breath coach, breathwork facilitator, grief recovery method specialist, personal trainer, and host of the Heartache, Health, and Healing podcast, where she shares real conversations about moving through loss and creating a life filled with purpose. Her work began after an unexpected tragedy, the sudden passing of her husband, which sent her on a deep personal journey of grief, emotional healing, and self-discovery. Through that experience, Brenda learned how stress and unresolved pain stay trapped in the body. Breathwork became the practice that helped her release years of tension, reconnect to her inner calm, and rebuild a life that feels vibrant and whole. Today, she guides ambitious coaches and entrepreneurs to do the same. Her membership, the Stress Reset Lab, helps busy professionals reset stress and recharge their energy so they can thrive in business and feel present at home without burning out. For those ready for a deeper transformation, her 12-week Burnout to Balance Blueprint offers a step-by-step path from overwhelm to radiant living. Brenda's mission is simple: help others breathe, heal, and come back to themselves. Hi, Brenda. Welcome to the Functional Esthetician podcast.
Hello, thank you for having me.
I'm excited for our conversation today.
Likewise.
I'm going to have you kick it off and just tell me a little bit about how you got to where you are today.
When I started, I still work a corporate job, but I also have a side business called Energized Life Wellness. And prior to four and a half-ish years ago, I was in the fitness and nutrition space, kind of more because I've been loved working out and everything, and kind of like, hey, let's like why try and make some money off of this, and which never kind of really, came into much fruition at all, which is fine because I felt it was a very saturated market. In September of 21, my world got turned upside down because I had unexpectedly lost my husband.
Wow.
And so that set me on this healing journey because I didn't know how to function, how to move forward.
Right.
Because he was my everything. He was my soulmate, my partner, everything. And then I kind of like had gone through, a period of time where I knew that there were certain things I needed to get done just because I couldn't, for multiple reasons. I was not able to stay in the home that we built. I had like 4 months where I was just like on this mission because we had the crappy conversations of, like if anything were to happen, this is what you need to do. He's like, because we had a shop that was the same size as the house. It was full of cars, trailers, tractors, snowmobiles, more tools than you don't even know what to do with. They probably filled up a Menards building, but so I had all that to deal with. He's like, just sell all my stuff and sell the house and move into someplace that you can manage on your own. So, I was very laser focused when all this had happened because I knew what I needed to do. The housing market was on fire at that point in time. So my brain is kind of like, well, like if I want to get it, a good price for the house, I need to do this now. So once I kind of got through that, but then I also had a year where I was having issues because when he was in the hospital, I was working out and I was bench pressing and something had popped in my shoulder. So then I had like physical issues that I needed to deal with. So then I took the following year, so I think that was probably about the year 22, ended up having my right hip replaced because I was bone on bone. And then
Wow.
that fall, I ended up having my left shoulder taken care of. I had a massive rotator cuff tear.
Okay.
And then my bicep tendon didn't rupture, but like something snapped out of place.
Oh, wow.
And so then it's kind of like I got to the point where I'm like, I needed to get that done. I saw an orthopedic while I was in the midst of everything going on after my husband had passed. And the doctor even said to me, he's like, now is not the time to do this. He's like,
Right.
you have way too much going on in life. He's like, you are not going to recover decent.
Right.
So I managed to live with it for almost 2 years before I did anything. I need to do something to help myself
Yeah.
move forward from the grief. So then I did a program called the Grief Recovery Method. I had the option of either doing the long version of it, which is 8 weeks, or jump all in and do this very intense 4-day workshop, which also included the training to be able to turn around and help other people.
Okay.
So my personality is like, hey, let's just jump all
Yeah.
in, you know.
Yep.
And it was 4 very extremely intense emotional days, but it was so, so very worthwhile. It kind of helped me move forward from that first, like that really deep, intense pain I was feeling after I lost him. Continuing on my healing journey, I'm like, I just feel like I needed something else and introduce breathwork. I had heard about it from like listening to all different podcasts and all that, really never knew much about it. And then I kind of, you know how once you start interested in something, you hear it, you start scrolling on
Oh,
social
yeah.
media. And then it just happens to always be in your feed.
Right.
And so my now mentor at this point in time, had a 5-day challenge. So I'm like, huh. I'm like, well, this is a good way to try this. So did the 5-day challenge, absolutely enjoyed it. And I'm kind of like, okay, now I'm intrigued. So he had a 30-day program that I bought, did that, absolutely loved it. Part of that 30-day program was where he had one of his full-blown transformational breathwork journeys. And
Okay.
so I'm talking like you're laying there breathing heavy, very active breathing breath work for like well over an hour. And the first time I finally did that, and when I got done, I'm just like, holy shit. And it was a good holy shit. And what I felt after that was just absolutely amazing. And the
Wow.
first thing that well, I should say the second thing that came to mind was I'm like, life is so challenging because we just are constantly having stuff thrown at us. I'm like,
Yeah.
everybody should be doing this. From that, I jumped all in and I just really haven't looked back, and I just absolutely, absolutely love it. It's been so very powerful on my healing journey and others that I work with.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to have you on here because I feel like breath work is something that a lot of people, they're familiar with the term, but they don't know what that is. Can you explain a little bit more about breath work and how somebody can get started with that?
I feel like breath work I feel like it's used a little bit more too loosely.
Right.
People often think breath work is just like, well, you're just focusing on your breath. I'm like, well,
It's more
it
than that.
depends. It's more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's part of it to be have that breath awareness,
Right.
but it's so much more than that. So there's some people think of it as more of like the yogic type breathing. If they're doing yoga and like controlling your breath and all that, I'm like, yeah, there's that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm like, but what I guide people through and facilitate, I'm like, we're talking deep transformational
Right.
breathing to like activate your system, get all those emotions out because all of our stressing emotions, a lot of it's in our head and everything,
Mhm.
but we carry so much in our bodies. And
Right.
people often forget that. It's kind of like, yeah, that pain in your shoulder you were having,
Yeah.
there's probably like some stored emotions that were causing that pain in that shoulder, or
Right.
pain in your neck, or pain in your neck, or pain in your back, whatever it might have been.
Yeah.
And then those transformational breathwork journeys just really, your body just kind of naturally does what it wants to do because you're doing that active breathing, gives a chance for that monkey mind to shut down because you're too focused on your breath. And then your body just this energy starts coming out of your body, whether it be from shaking and trembling to crying
Mhm.
and quivering. And it's just depending upon what the person has gone through in their life. I mean, everybody has different experiences.
Right.
So it just kind of helps the body release all those trapped emotions. And 1 hour, one session does an immense amount of work. But what so often people don't even realize, and I did not realize this until I had gone through the training, is generational trauma. They say that it goes back 14 generations, which I still feel is
Wow.
mind blowing.
Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't realize it
Mind
was that deep.
blowing. Yeah,
Wow.
that's how when I was trained, that's what they said that they have, however they
Okay.
managed to figure that out. They
Yeah.
said it goes back 14 generations. I'm like, what?
Wow. Wow.
And so there's the active type of breath work that just really kind of helps deal with those emotions. But then there's the day-to-day stuff that we can do to really help ourselves in those situations.
Right.
Focusing on the breath, whether it be like balancing yourself out, doing like an inhale of four and an exhale of four, kind of bringing yourself back to center. And then we have those times where we can actually use our breath to activate our system. It's like if you're really tired, you can do like these massive, like these nice deep inhales, these fast inhales through your nose with a shorter exhale to start activating your system. Then we have the down regulation, which is working on the parasympathetic side, that rest and digest portion,
Mm-hmm.
or that's where we focus more on those longer, the shorter inhales, but those longer exhales to help bring our system down, bring calm into our body, bring the cortisol level down, the stress levels down.
And cortisol is a big one.
Yeah,
I work
yeah.
with a lot of like perimenopausal and menopausal women with hormones, and I feel like every time I test them, cortisol is always the one of the biggest issues. That and how your body's metabolizing your hormones.
Yeah. Every day we're constantly encountering various types of stress, whether it be
Right.
just from driving to work or driving to the store, or
Right.
somebody flipping you off in a parking lot because they think they stole your parking spot, or
Yep.
you know.
Being in functional medicine, I can tell someone you should relax, but it's impossible because it's like life is stressful, right? Especially nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many, I can't tell you how many times I'll catch myself, I'll be doing something and I will literally kind of get this feeling like where I feel like kind of off balance. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
heck? And then I tune in right away and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I'm breathing rapid and I'm breathing shallow. And then I quickly stop and I'm like, okay, and I just focus on my breath and I just kind of take those nice deep inhales, those nice long exhales, do that a few times, and then I'm kind of like, okay, now I don't feel like I'm gonna fall over.
Yeah, exactly. So, for somebody that's new to breath work, would you recommend working with somebody versus trying to start it yourself?
I mean, I personally would
Okay.
recommend it. It depends upon if you're the type of person that's willing to kind of to dive in and learn it all on your own. But I know for me, I found it very helpful just to have that somebody to guide me through it,
Right.
to make sure that I was, because there's different types of breathing techniques that you can do while you're doing breath work.
Okay.
I mean, even just the short stuff during each daily that you're doing. So for me personally, I found it helpful to work with somebody that has experienced it and has gone through it, and to kind of guide me and educate me along the way. So I found it beneficial that way. I guess it probably depends upon how the person likes to learn things and navigate it. So
Okay.
I recommend it.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier that stress shows up in your body. What are some everyday signs that you're carrying too much stress? What are some gentle ways you can release that?
Again, I think it depends upon the person.
Okay.
But I know for me personally is I will feel it in my chest.
Right.
I mean, it's just kind of like right in here. It's just like I will feel that.
That heaviness.
Yeah, that tightness, that uncomfortableness, I'll feel that in my chest. I think a lot of people, because a lot of us carry so much through our shoulders and our neck. It's kind of like when you're sitting there and you feel yourself kind of going like this,
Right?
where those ears start getting a little bit
Yep.
closer to the shoulders. That is a sign that it's like that it's hitting into your body.
Hmm.
And what I've noticed is that when I'm more stressed out, it feels like for me anyway, like this has been my experience, is that the stress kind of goes to that weaker part of your body. So like for me, when I was kind of going through some stuff, I had that point in time where before I had gotten my shoulder fixed, because that was the weakest part of my body, and
Okay.
stuff would always kind of go towards that spot. And I found it very interesting. That's how the body was working.
Right.
And I've noticed that with other my clients too, because when I've
Okay.
guided them through breath work, and then she's like, her whatever shoulder it was, but hers was the shoulder as well. And I asked her, and I'm like, I said, do you have issues with that shoulder? She's like, I do. And so that's why I even noticed myself and clients that I work with was that it just that stress kind of hones in on that weakest part of their body.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I've noticed even for myself, because my low back is very sensitive.
Okay.
That's another one too, where it'll start kind of honing in on
Mhm.
that lower portion of my back, on that weak spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like low back pain, that's a big complaint women have.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
And even when I give facials, like I do neck and shoulder massages and, I'll be massaging them. I'm like, you can just feel the tension. But it's funny, they come in and they're really tense. And then as I'm massaging them, I can feel their shoulders relaxing. So it's like, okay, they are sinking into the table right now. This is good.
Yeah, yeah. Because even like with that, because I had after my husband had passed away, I decided kind of like, you know what, I found a really good massage therapist,
Okay.
and I try to go at least like every 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah.
But one thing I noticed, even when I go, because you're talking about massage, is that even that, because if you have a knot and somebody's like working it, it could be like your body immediately wants to like tense up and like
Right.
hold your breath.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where being breath aware kind of be like, okay, it's like you just need to focus on your breath and just on those tense moments instead of tightening up, just focus on that exhale and let your body relax into it.
Yeah.
I so often I've had to do that where he'll be working on my neck or my back or something. I'll be like, oh geez. I'm like, and I
Yeah.
just lay there and I just focus on my breath. And he's like, are you
Hmm.
okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm like, just keep doing your
Keep
thing.
going. I know. And sometimes even for me, like certain spots, it hurts so bad it like tickles. Let's talk about breath work as a reset. How can simple breathing practices calm your body and mind in a few minutes?
So if you're having, as an example, so if you're having a stressful day, say like if you have a coworker or whatever that kind of just had a very intense meeting or something, as quickly as sitting there and just taking the time and just focusing on your breath by doing like before I talked about that 5 in, 5 out, focusing on that balanced breath work. So your inhale and your exhale is the same count. Just doing that for just a few minutes, like even 1 or 2 minutes, that just starts bringing your body back into balance. But if it's more stressed out and you need kind of that down regulation, that's where you do that kind of rectangular breathing where you do that inhale of 4, kind of hold it at the top for a count of 7, and then just do this long exhale of 8. So when we have that longer exhale, that's when we start working on that parasympathetic kind of bringing ourselves down and to start reducing that stress. You just focus on something simple like that for just a few minutes. It starts bringing the stress down, bringing the cortisol down, and starts bringing your body back to center.
Yeah.
That's what's so wild. It's just like when we just take the time and focus on our breath, that within anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes on how that something that really activated us can help kind of focus on our breath and bring us back down to center and calm us down.
And that's something they can easily incorporate into their day.
Oh, absolutely. There are many times when I'm at my full-time job, I'll be sitting there or something will just like be irritating me. I'm sitting
Breathe.
at my desk and I
Yeah.
just focus on my breath, and nobody has any clue what I'm doing.
Right.
So
That's awesome.
very easy to do when you have people around
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Good for moms too, that when their
Oh,
kids are like
I'm not
stressing them
I'm
out.
not a mom, but yes, very good for moms.
Yeah. Go in the other room, breathe, and it's like, okay, I'm good now. So,
And it's just like, hold that thought. I got to take a breath.
right? Exactly. If somebody is interested in breath work and they want to get started, I know you offer programs, so tell me a little bit about your breathwork program.
So I currently have a membership called the Stress Reset Lab. The core content of the program is 12 weeks, and it's short lessons that help you regulate your nervous system. But along with that is that you'll get like mini breathwork journeys that you can do at any point in time. They always live in the membership.
Okay.
They're go from anywhere between 5 minutes to maybe like 15 minutes.
Mhm.
Currently we meet once a month where I guide them through a long transformational breathwork journey. If
Okay.
people aren't able to make it live, I do record it and I put it out in the net, out into the membership, so that way they're able to access to it when they do have time. I guide people through 9D breathwork, so I have to be careful with the audio portion of it because there's licensing things
Right.
that I have to deal with.
Yeah.
I only leave it out there for like a month, but it's kind of like, so the membership, we're always constantly going to be doing breathwork journeys every single month. I'm hoping to get to a point where I'll be actually doing it like every live journeys every week. But yeah, absolutely love it. Like I said, just started the membership back in November. But yeah, if anybody's interested, I do have like a free 5 minutes, either breathwork activation or relaxation that I
Okay.
would be willing to share with your listeners if
Yeah.
anybody was interested.
Yeah. I'll put that link in the show notes so they can
Okay.
click on it and connect with you.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
And then where else can they find you? Are you on social media? Do you have a website?
Yes, I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, all under
Okay.
my name. But
I'll put those
yeah,
links down below too so they can check that out and connect with you.
yeah. And I do have my website at www.energizelifewellness.com.
So before we close, what's one key takeaway that our listeners can start utilizing today?
One key takeaway is just really take the time to start being more aware of your breath. And just like when you feel, pay attention to your body. And it's like when you just kind of something start feeling off and just kind of focus in on your breath to be like, okay, am I breathing shallow? Am I breathing rapid? And just even take, like I said, just take those moments to do those longer breaths, the longer inhales and those longer exhales to bring yourself back to center. Breath awareness is very
Yeah.
powerful.
Yes, absolutely. It's funny you say the shallow breath because I find myself doing that. And then all of a sudden my body's like trying to take deep breaths. I'm like, it's trying to tell me like stop and breathe. I find
Yeah,
myself doing that a lot.
yeah. Our bodies are so smart. And it's just we
They
just
are.
need to tune in and listen to it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
just having that awareness and knowing like, okay, if you're stressed, just breathe. Like it's that simple.
Yeah. But it's just I get it though, because life is hectic.
It
And
is.
we all live very fast-paced lives and we're just so used to going that we just don't pay attention to just be like, I should probably tune into my body and listen to it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Brenda, thank you so much for being here. Do you have anything else you want to add before we close?
No, thank you very much for this opportunity. I greatly appreciate it. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. And I will drop links so our listeners can connect with you there.
Awesome. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening. Today we had on our special guest, Brenda Mundt. We talked about breath work, stress, and how adding simple breathing techniques and exercises to your daily life can help ease your stress load. This is something you can add into your daily routine. Please check the show notes for links to connect with Brenda, listen to her podcast, or join her 12-week program. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday to episode 19. We have on another special guest, and we will be talking about internal factors that cause skin flare-ups. You don't want to miss it. And always remember, you deserve to love the skin you're in.